Alright, moving ahead with integers, today we are going to see about the absolute value of an integer. To understand the absolute value of an integer, we can simply say that and the absolute value of an integer is the distance of the integer from the number 0. To understand this, we will take the help of the number line. So first I'm going to draw the number line. As you know that this is the number line on which we are going to plot the integers, so that is going to be the 0 at the center. On the right side I'm going to have the positive numbers or the positive integers like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and so on, and on the left side of the 0 I'm going to have the negative integers, -1, -2, -3, -4 and so on. Okay, now suppose I need to find the absolute value of 3. Then I can see that 3 is here, and what is the distance of 3 from the 0? I can see 1 unit, 2 unit and 3 unit. So the absolute value of 3 is 3. And if I talk about the absolute value of -3, you can see that -3 is here. Now I will just count the distance of -3 from the 0. So I can see 1, 2 and 3. So the absolute value of -3 is also 3, and I won't say that -3 or +3. So absolute value of -3 is only 3. It is just the distance, not positive or negative, and the absolute value is denoted like the absolute value. This is, I will read this as absolute value of -3, and the answer to this is 3. Also the absolute value of 3 is 3. So I can say that the absolute value of a negative integer is also positive, and the absolute value of a positive integer is also positive. In both the cases I'm going to get the answer as positive. Okay, now let us see a few examples to understand this. And one thing to be noted over here is that the absolute value is denoted by putting these signs. So this is like the absolute value of x, and these signs are called as the bars. Just make sure that you understand the difference between these bars and the brackets and the parentheses. The absolute value is denoted by bars, not by parentheses or brackets. Okay, now let us take the examples. So the first example that I take is, let us try to find the absolute value of -1. Now as I told you that the absolute value means the distance of the integer from the number 0. So let us see the number line again, and I can see that -1 is at a distance of just 1 unit from 0. So absolute value of -1 is 1, and also the absolute value of 1 is also 1, because the positive integer 1 is also just 1 unit away from the number 0. So the absolute value of +1 is also 1. The most important thing is that let us see what is the absolute value of 0. Here I can see that 0 is over here, and how much away is this from the number 0? It's the same number, so it's not away at any units or any distance. So the absolute value of 0 is 0. In the same way, if I try to find out the absolute value of, say, number -52, then I can just imagine the number line and understand that the number -52 would be lying at a distance of 52 units from the number 0. So the absolute value of -52 is just 52. Okay, now we are going to work with simplifying with these absolute values in our next session.